Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, is serving his military service with dedication. His new life in the military barracks is a far cry from the glittering stage he used to enjoy. There are no spotlights, hysterical voices of fans, or hectic tour schedules. Instead, he faces tough physical training, disciplined routines, and a simple life with his fellow soldiers. Despite the hardship, Jungkook tried to savor every moment, seeing it as an experience that strengthened him both physically and mentally. However, behind his smile and determination, he could not deny that he missed his old life. After 6 months of challenging and disciplined training, good news finally came from his barracks commander. Every soldier, after a long period of training, is given a few days off to unwind and visit family, or simply take a break from the rigorous military routine. For Jungkook, it was the day he had been waiting for. It gave him the chance to catch up with his family, meet his parents in Busan who he hadn't seen in a while, and, if he had time, catch up with the rest of the boys who were also busy with their own activities. Since entering military service, Jungkook's daily routine has changed drastically. He has to wake up early, train physically, follow strict instructions, and live a life far away from the public spotlight that used to accompany him. No more cheering fans, no more time on stage with BTS, and definitely no personal space like he had before. Life in the barracks was full of discipline and the need to follow the rules, but he realized this was part of the responsibility that every South Korean citizen must live up to. Although difficult, he felt this experience taught him many valuable lessons about discipline, mental resilience, and a deep sense of brotherhood with his fellow soldiers. The long-awaited leave day finally arrived. Jungkook was excited, but also a little anxious. He had planned to spend time with his parents in Busan, a place he had fond memories of. Arriving at the barracks, he quickly tidied up his gear and prepared his backpack. With sure steps, he left the barracks where he had been resting for several months. That morning, the sky was clear with soft sunlight shining on the streets, as if welcoming her departure with new hope. He wore simple clothes, a black t-shirt, jeans, and a baseball cap that slightly covered his face. He deliberately chose to dress casually, hoping to walk around without being recognized by many people. Jungkook knew very well how much attention was always given to him by fans, and although he appreciated it very much, this time he wanted to experience a moment of freedom with no cameras, no spotlight, and no crowds. Jungkook headed to the train station and bought a ticket to Busan. Along the way, he enjoyed the passing scenery from the train window. His thoughts drifted back to his childhood, a time when he felt life was so simple and happy. He thought back to his mother, who always prepared delicious meals, and his father, who always encouraged him when he felt tired. His family was his main strength, always reminding him to stay humble and always be grateful for what he had. Arriving in Busan, Jungkook headed straight to his parents' house. Upon arrival, he was warmly greeted by his mother, who was waiting in front of the house with a big smile. "Jungkook, you look thinner," his mom said as she hugged him tightly. A delicious meal was quickly prepared, and they sat together at the dining table, chatting about Jungkook's life in the military and their daily lives. The simple, warm atmosphere made Jungkook feel as if time was passing more slowly. He could feel a sense of calm that he hadn't felt in a long time amidst his busy career. However, despite his happiness at home, Jungkook couldn't help but miss the members of BTS. They hadn't seen each other in a long time due to their busy schedules, and Jungkook knew that his brothers must be very busy. He decided to contact them and plan a meeting. Cautiously, they chose a safe place, a small cafe in Seoul, away from the crowds and media attention. After a few hours of traveling, Jungkook arrived at the cafe and was warmly welcomed by his brothers, who were waiting at a table hidden in the corner. "Kookie, you finally came," exclaimed Jin as he stood up and gave him a hug. They all looked happy to see Jungkook back after such a long time, even if only temporarily. The atmosphere in the cafe was full of laughter, old memories, and light-hearted stories about each other's activities during Jungkook's training. Jungkook felt very grateful to meet them. Although their world had changed, the BTS brotherhood remained close. The days of his leave flew by, and before he knew it, his time was almost up. On the last day, Jungkook decided to take a walk by himself. He wore the same clothes, hoping to enjoy some quiet time. While walking in the park, he saw a group of teenagers listening to BTS songs, and one of them was Euphoria. Jungkook paused, listened carefully, and smiled. He felt deeply moved, realizing that even though he was not on stage, BTS influence lived on in ARMY's hearts. Finally, his day off was over. With a slightly heavy heart, Jungkook returned to the barracks. However, this time he felt stronger and ready to face the days ahead. Before entering the barracks gate, he whispered to himself, "Army, wait for me. I'll come back better." With sure steps, he stepped into the challenging world, bringing with him a new spirit that would help him face the rest of his military service. His first destination was his family home in Busan. Once there, he was warmly welcomed by his parents and siblings. His mother prepared many of his favorite dishes, such as bulgogi, kimchi jjigae, and japchae, which made Jungkook feel like he was back in his childhood. They spent a long time chatting, discussing his experiences in the military and childhood memories that made them laugh together. However, amidst the happiness, something still felt missing. Jungkook realized that he also missed his brothers in BTS. On the second day, Jungkook contacted RM, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, and V to arrange a meeting. Cautiously, they chose to meet at a quiet little cafe in Seoul, away from the public eye. When they finally gathered, the atmosphere was immediately filled with laughter and jokes. They shared stories about their busy lives and old memories as a group. "You look stronger, Kookie," joked J-Hope, pointing at Jungkook's more muscular arms. Jungkook chuckled and replied, "The push-ups at the barracks really help." The moment was a reminder that even though they lead different lives now, their brotherhood remains close. On his last day off, Jungkook decided to take a walk by himself. He visited a small park in Seoul and enjoyed the atmosphere without many people recognizing him. While walking, he heard BTS song, Euphoria, being played by a group of teenagers sitting on picnic mats. Jungkook stopped in the distance, listening with a smile. Seeing how much they enjoyed the music he used to perform, his heart was filled with gratitude. Even though he wasn't active on stage at the moment, ARMY's love and support was felt everywhere. His day off was over, and Jungkook returned to the barracks with a full heart. He carries a new spirit after meeting his family, friends, and feeling the love of his fans. He realized that this time was part of his journey, and when he returned to the stage, he would bring new stories and energy to share. As he passed through the barracks gate, Jungkook whispered to himself, "Army, wait for me. I'll come back stronger than ever."